Hi everyone, I hope we're all well and had a good week. We're just going to cover today a bit of information about our particular new system that you guys can all use. Now this is going to be regularly updated. Typically we send out a newsletter once a month. What we've realized and what the issue is with that is that it's static. So the information is within a week or so is redundant in the sense that we may have brand new construction updates, which then don't actually get sent for another month. So for you guys who have purchased through us and you're looking at regular construction updates, this is something that we're going to send a link out to everyone. And this is something where you can access constant regular updates. So for example, you can access any of this information on our website, but also you can go to this particular presentation. You'll all have access to this presentation, and at every point it's going to be live. So if we get a construction update from a developer today, or if we get up to the site, you guys are going to be able to go onto this presentation. It'll be uploaded within 24 hours, and rather than waiting a month for our new newsletter to come through, you can access it here. So let's run through each part. So you can essentially click on any one of these and it will take you to that part of the actual process. So if you want to know more about our Skylet side, which I'll come on to, or more about our letting side, you can click on those particular parts. So let's start with the invest side. I won't run through it all because it will probably take a good 2 to 3 hours to get through the whole lot in regards to all the information that's on here. But the whole idea of this is something that you can decide where you go. So if you go onto the invest side, that's something where you can choose to head into our magazine. You can either choose to head into our property market news or our construction updates, or even the development of the month. So if you head into the magazine side of things, you can essentially go to the link at the top, and that will download our monthly magazine, and it will have all the hot topics in there of the month. It will have our latest, all the latest information, the latest projects for sale, the latest completions, the latest construction updates. So you've got our monthly magazine there. You can also go into what the latest news is. Again, what we were finding is sometimes when we would publish a piece of news, the news would be a month old. So what we now want to do is have the latest property market news actually on the system straight away. So again, there's some small snippets there, but again, you can go up for these full articles. You can go onto our live blog. Now, again, the same thing. What we've got is the construction updates. So we want to show people regular construction updates. Again, so we will put a variety on here every single month when we get the latest. So for example, if we don't get another Bridgewater Wolf one this month, this will go off, but we may have one in the Loom, for example, in Manchester. So that will go on. So these are the latest ones that we've got for this particular month. You can then head into any particular development, and then you can see what's happening with the latest construction pictures. Again, this will also be on our website as well. So also what you can guys can do is you can navigate through page by page, and then you can go on to the development of the month. So every time we get a new development which we feel is exclusive, for example, this one is called Insignia. Again, this is something that we feel that clients need to take a look at. You can regularly see what's on, what the latest is, and skip literally right the way back through, again, going back to the construction update side, going back to Silk House Court. So you can see here, I don't know if you guys can see this at the bottom, there's sort of 58 slides where the screen is. But again, this is something that you guys can access. Now, if we then go back to the beginning, you may then want to flick to our development side, or our letting side, or our smart cell. At any point, you guys can head back to the beginning and head to this screen and come out. You don't need to sit through all 58 slides of this. So you might want to go into our Skylet and see what that can offer you. And it introduces what Skylet is. the property market news again, how Skylet differs from the traditional letting side, and the ideal properties. Again, this is the one, these two here, the property market news and the ideal properties for Skylet. This is the one that's going to be most dynamic, because obviously introducing Skylet and the lettings side are going to be pretty static, but these are going to be dynamic, so the properties will change. So at the moment, these are the main properties that we can use for Skylet. Insignia is actually another one that's going to be put on here, but these are the main properties that we feel are lettable by a Skylet. So again, they will change, and as soon as you drill down into one of them, so if we just choose the Loom, for example, that will drill down into the basics of that particular development. But again, it's just something that you guys can keep abreast of. It's importantly, all of this information will be on our website as well. The whole idea of this is just to give you a more of a live, dynamic view of what we have. But again, the bulk of the information is on our website, as it's too big for everything to go on this as well. But this will give you a skim the surface, and then everything will be on our website. Again, you can head to our overseas section. This is starting to be built up as we speak. So again, if you've got if you buy overseas and you want to use our FX broker, it will start to talk about who we use. We use Cornhill. You don't have to, of course, but again, you can start to put your money through Cornhill. You typically save, on average, about 3 to 4% by using a broker. If you're buying a £200,000 property, that's a lot of money. That's good £6,000 to £8,000 saved just by using Cornhill. Again, you can head to the Smart Sell side. This is our local package. This is something where we sell locally. We also resell units. So if anyone has ever bought from us previously, there's no commission on the sale. So there's no commission for any existing client. So they could have purchased something, regardless of whether they purchased it for 60,000 or the most expensive one we sold is a London-based property for 16 million. Even if that client came back to us to resell because they've bought through us, they don't pay anything on the sale side. So we will simply market their property. If you've never bought through us before, or you wanted to sell your particular unit, you can head into our packages and you can see exactly what our packages offer. And again, all of this information is on our website, but we primarily are doing a lot of local advertisement, but we can go further afield. Again, it just depends on what you want from your package. And that's it, really. The whole reason, I say, it's a quick webinar today. I can answer any questions that you guys have, but we're going to send this link out to all of our clients and all of our potential clients who have been looking. The main thing is that you guys can have more of a dynamic, live, up-to-date newsletter rather than something that is, as I say, is always, once it's published, the next day something new comes in, it's old news. We are going to have, so this development side that you see here, we've got an exciting project coming up where actually clients will be able to invest not only just in an actual buy-to-let, but they'll be able to invest within a development. So the development that we are going to be doing, clients will be able to purchase part of that development. So essentially, rather than having to need to have 150 to 200,000 available for a property in Manchester, we have a number of clients who come on with 20, 25, 30,000. They can't quite get to the buy-to-let, mortgages won't allow them, but they can become part of a development. So we're going to arrange the development, we're going to purchase the land, we're going to, we've got the constructor, everything's good to go. We are now going to enable investors. So rather than going to your traditional banks or funders, we're going to allow individual clients to come on board, and they will actually take a share of the profits. So this will be something that's going to be updated quite regularly over the next couple of months or so. Any questions, guys, that you'd like to ask me at all? There should be, again, I say all the time, but I think it's a question or a speech bubble or something like that. Feel free to ask. I've got a couple here already. Construction updates. I've got here, are all the construction updates on this presentation? No. So what we will do is, on this particular presentation, if I go to the construction updates, you will basically have the latest construction updates that we get. So for example, these will be the latest construction updates. So if we go to the Adelphi Wharf, this is the latest construction update for Adelphi Wharf that we have. However, what we will then do is, if we don't receive another construction update for Adelphi Wharf within the next month, this is obviously on our website as well, but Adelphi Wharf will go off, and anything that we have within the last month will be on, essentially. So all these construction updates are what we've had within the last 30 days, essentially. Got one here. New developments for sale. Will they go on? Yeah. So new developments for sale will always be on here. However, we always advise you check our website, just simply because if you want to go in and you've got a new development, we would typically do one development of the month. So in this case, we've got the Insignia. But again, we sometimes will have, for example, recently we've had 2 developments that are completed. We just physically don't have enough units in them. For example, by the time we put them on this presentation and it's filtered down and clients have seen them, for example, we've got 4 units, sorry, that are completed in Manchester, and about 6 or 7 units that are completed in Liverpool. So sometimes we will put them straight on our website, we'll email our base, and they'll go within a matter of days. So typically on here is when we have a brand new development as a whole, rather than 1 or 2 units. But I would advise you that you always check our website. In regards to the investing in the development, how does that work? Okay, so for those of you who want to invest in the development, there's a couple of things that need to happen. Is you have to initially, we're going to again send out a link to this, but you will have to initially sign either you're a high net worth individual or you're a sophisticated investor form, because essentially it's a higher risk investment, because essentially you're relying on us to deliver the profits. So like any development, we always say the same thing. There are many developers out there over the years who haven't made it, or who haven't done extremely well because they've got the figures wrong. Now, obviously, we don't think we have, but the reality is there's been developments out there that have failed. So what we say to everyone is, we will put the proposal to you. It's down to you to do your own due diligence. It's down to you to do your own checks. From everything, from what, you know, even if you guys are not developers or not builders, you can find out so much information nowadays from doing basic checks on the internet, online, just to make sure you think we've got our figures right. We've got our construction figures right. We've tendered it out to 5 different constructors. We've had a couple of ones that have come back which are unbelievably cheap. But again, when you look in the fine print, you get things like these costs can escalate. We want something where we can say from the beginning, this is a finite cost, so we know from the start. They may have something in there which says this can be increased or decreased by a factor of 5%. And of course, but importantly, it's up to you to understand what implications there are. For example, if the development gets delayed and the profit gets delayed, therefore you may not have access to that money within a short period of time. So there's a lot of things that you need to consider. So that's why this particular investment, although it's a phenomenal investment, it does require, excuse me, it does require clients to be able to sign a high net worth individual or a sophisticated investor. If it's something, when we say the same thing to everyone, if it's something where you think, no, I need liquid cash, because especially as people get older, I would always say you need liquid cash. Don't do anything like this. This is something, it's not like the stock market where you can put money in and get money out within, within a day. It's not like that. This is something which is longer term. Typically, developments take 5 years from start to finish. That's from the purchasing of the land, the signing of the land, the planning permission, the development, the sales, the completion. You're probably looking at a 5-year period. But over that 5-year period, there's a huge amount to be gained. It's one of those things that you put money in, leave it, and then watch it. Another question here. Difference between smart sale and lettings. Again, that's all on there. So the difference between smart sale and lettings, guys. Again, if you just click here, this one here. So the traditional lettings versus Skylet. It's got what the benefits are, the pros and cons of each particular each side. Just a quick. There is another webinar on this actually that you can download from our website. But a brief outline is the Skylet is more lucrative. You can talk 10% up. However, like anything, you go for more lucrative side. It can be slightly more risk. in terms of you can have bigger void periods. It's as simple as that. But we look to replace that with our our unique way of letting, corporate lets. I say we look over 10%. Excuse me. One more question here. How do I see about overseas developments? Again, if you click here on the overseas side, you will see sort of our latest news, property market news. And what we will look to do as well is we'll look to give you what we feel are the best apartments out there at the moment. So, for example, you click on this particular penthouse in Marbella. Again, you can see that this is probably one of the best apartments on the market in Marbella, where it is, and the penthouse. We will look to bring you that, and again, you might click on an actual villa in Benavice. So we will typically try and bring you what we feel are the most exclusive opportunities, but that doesn't mean that it's a full exhaustive list. So again, we always say, check back on our website and make sure that if you're looking overseas, you have a look at our website, but also speak to a broker here. We're not here to try and, fit a square peg in a round hole. It's our job to go and research something. If we don't have it, doesn't mean we can't find it. We work with a lot of collaborators in Spain, Italy, France. We can find something for you if we don't particularly have it. All right, guys. So look, as I say, the next step is we're going to get this link out to you. And if there's anything that you need to know in the meantime, as I say, feel free to email in, speak to one of our brokers, and have a lovely rest of the week. Take care.